Hello, everybody. I'm Chandler,
And I'm Celeste.
and this is
True
True
North
North Terror.
Terror. That was
That one
pretty
up.
good.
That was pretty good, but I was a little off. That's okay. We'll go with it.
So we are doing a double recording today. So we start with Chandler's Wendigo story.
Yep.
And now we are going to go into the depths of hell with like the worst, in my opinion, one of the worst, at least, Canadian serial killer stories.
Yeah.
It has it all. It has sexual assault and rape, murder, self harm, animal harm, death, abuse, and abuse of children, domestic
Yes.
violence. Pretty much all the awful shit you can think of is in this story.
Yeah.
If that's not your vibe and you're here for more of the hauntings and the lore, then we get it. We won't be offended if you
Yeah.
skip out on this one.
This one will be a tough one.
Yeah, it is the Paul Bernardo and Karla Homolka story, aka the Ken and Barbie Killers. Um, and yeah, pretty much everyone knows, I feel like, this story.
Yeah. It's a pretty prolific Canadian case.
Yeah.
I feel like that one and the Picton
Oh, yeah.
case, like that's like
Yeah.
Canada's number 1 and 2.
For sure.
Those
Yeah.
are pretty big.
Man, we are known for some good shit for sure.
Yeah, some wild ones.
Yeah. So yeah, we will get started. I will put some trigger warnings before specific situations, just so you can skip forward a little bit if you do not want to hear like the most gruesome parts of it. But we're going to start with the disgusting, inhuman creature known as Paul Bernardo. He was born in Scarborough, Ontario on August 27th, 1964. He was the third and youngest child born to Kenneth and Marilyn. Kenneth, unfortunately, was a real piece of shit. Verbally and physically abused his entire family. He called Marilyn all the terrible names under the sun. He also often sexually abused his older sister, Deborah, in front of the
Ugh.
family. He also ended up being charged with voyeurism and pedophilia and was a peeping Tom.
Ugh.
And between the abuse of their daughter and the peeping Tom and pedophilia, Marilyn ended up suffering from pretty severe depression and agoraphobia. She also ended up becoming morbidly obese from her depression. She did end up secluding herself from the family, not being very present. She ended up moving herself into the basement of their home. Just really like trying to remove herself from her situation. Despite his unhappy home life, Paul actually presented to the world as a pretty happy and well adjusted kid. He was an active scout. He had friends. He's pretty social. However, behind closed doors, he was already showing signs of what was to come.
Oh boy.
He fantasized of creating a virgin farm where
Oh.
he would breed virgins to rape. He also found joy in setting fires.
Oh God.
Yeah, just minor hobbies.
Yeah. Yikes.
In 1981, when Paul was 17, after a pretty heated fight between Kenneth and Marilyn, Marilyn dropped the bomb on Paul that Kenneth was not actually his biological dad, and Paul was the product of an affair.
Oh shit.
Paul did not take this news very well. He had a huge outburst at his mom, calling her a slut and a whore, and just making her feel all sorts of awful. Which I feel like opposite reaction to what I would feel because you just found out that this piece of shit Kenneth isn't your actual dad.
Yeah.
Like, get it, mom. Don't blame you. But
For sure.
here we are. Shortly
Jesus.
after this, Paul's girlfriend broke up with him. She was sick of his aggressive and domineering personality and ended up dating one of Paul's friends.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, not following bro code.
No.
When Paul found out about this new relationship, he burned all of his girlfriend's possessions that he had access to.
Oh God.
Paul attended university in 1982 and worked for an MLM company to get by called Amway, selling health, beauty, and home care products. he really like went hard at the sales culture. Like he bought the books, he like fully immersed himself.
Okay.
Great for his career, but he would use his sales tactics to pick up girls at the bars with his friends.
Oh, that's kind of gross.
Yeah, not the best. He would appear super charming and engaged in public, but when they were alone, he was aggressive and forced them to have anal sex with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Went from charming to not so cute.
Piece of shit.
I mean, you do you, but his relationships increased in violence. He would threaten to kill his partners and their families if they
Wow.
reported his abuse. In 1986, he had 2 restraining orders served against him for making threatening and obscene phone calls. So, off to a good start.
Yeah, holy shit.
Karla Homolka was born May 4th, 1907 in Mississauga, Ontario to Dorothy and Carl.
Carl.
Well, it's Karel.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, Carol
E-L.
Carl.
Carol
Carol Carl.
That's
We're going
what?
with Carl.
Okay, Carl.
She was the oldest to eventually 2 younger sisters, Lori and Tammy.
Okay.
Carl was a salesman who traveled frequently. He was also an alcoholic, and the little time he spent at home was drinking and being verbally abusive towards the entire family.
Oh, fun. What a
Yeah.
nice guy.
What a dude. In grade 3, Karla scored in the top 2% on the IQ test, showing her intelligence at a very young age.
Okay.
She actually thrived in school. As a younger girl, she was like the quintessential girl's girl with long blonde hair, dressing
Okay.
super polished. But at about 13, she changed her look and started dressing in all black with colorful hair, more into like the goth scene.
Okay.
She was always super obsessive with her appearance, whether it was like the girly girl or the goth. She wanted it to look exactly how she wanted.
Okay. All in or not in.
Yeah,
Right.
she's not a half-asser.
Okay.
Karla's friends described her as super bossy and someone that did not care what other people thought of her. She dressed different from everyone and had zero interest in conforming to societal norms. However, from a very young age, she had a huge love and interest in animals, and she always said that one day she wanted to be a vet, and one of her first jobs was at a pet store.
Okay.
Like she loved animals, but also she decided one day to make like a makeshift parachute for her friend's hamster and throw it out the window.
Oh, no.
So like she loved animals, but she also loved throwing them out windows.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
not, that's kind of,
Yeah, the hamster did die, RIP.
yeah.
And a few weeks later, she went to where the hamster was buried and dug it up to see what it looked like after decaying.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old is she at this point?
In her like early
Early
teens, I
teens?
think. Yeah.
You shouldn't be interested.
Yeah,
I
super
mean,
cool.
You can be interested in things, but like that's.
I know, like, did I sometimes rip the wings off of flies as a child? Yes. But did I go and dig up dead animals to see what they looked like after 2 weeks of dying?
No.
Nah.
No. That's I feel like hamsters are like the pet that parents give kids to teach them about death.
Everyone has a hamster story.
Yeah.
Except for maybe you, because mom
I've
would
never had a
never get a
hamster.
hamster because
No.
it's too similar to a mouse.
Yeah. Mom did not like rodents.
Yeah.
So no hamsters for us.
No hamster story for you.
But
I do have a hamster story from like living at my mom's house. You probably know this one, but I had a hamster. I had 2 hamsters, Bert and Ernie. And I also had
Nice.
a chocolate lab named Hershey. And I thought that Bert and Hershey would be great friends.
Oh no.
So I opened this like sliding screen door and showed Bert to Hershey, and he chomped him right out of my hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Yikes.
hamster story.
That's not good.
Not great. Anyways, back to Karla.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption.
In her teen years, Karla started to show enjoyment from making other kids cry and humiliating them.
Oh, we don't
She
like a bully.
had a tumultuous relationship with her parents, especially her dad. Her and her dad were really close, but they also like furiously fought.
Oh.
She would have really high highs and really low lows. When she was having her highs, she'd be boasting about her future goals to be a vet and even a police officer. When she was having her lows, she would self-harm and show her inflictions to her friends. She also told them that she attempted suicide by overdosing with sleeping pills. But many of her friends speculated and felt that a lot of this was done for attention. Like, she could not stand to not be the center of attention.
Right.
As an older teen, Karla became interested in the occult. She would attempt seances and play with Ouija boards.
Ooh.
Which, like, same.
I've never touched a Ouija board.
We used to have one.
I remember. It was in the garage.
It was in the basement for a long time.
Yeah, but I remember seeing it in the garage often.
Yeah, like I remember playing with it once.
House?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I don't remember anything happening, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Ouija boards do scare me.
I wouldn't do it at where I lived.
Yeah, definitely not. I just feel like you don't know, like, someone's headspace or their intentions going into it.
Yeah.
And there's, like, properly closing it out and everything like that. I do not have the confidence in myself to do everything properly
in the heat of the moment. That's fair.
Yeah, like, I'd be too scared and I'd be like, oh, I'm out. And then it'd be like, I'm part of you forever now.
Yeah, shit. Oops.
Yeah. Okay, now that you have the background on the two monsters of our story, we are going to go to when they unfortunately meet. So our story really begins in 1987. Karla met Paul when she was 17 and he was 23. She was in Scarborough for a pet store convention. She was working at a pet store throughout high school.
Okay.
Karla and her friend were sitting at a table at their hotel restaurant in their pajamas when Paul and a friend approached them. Only hours later, Paul and Karla were in his room having sex.
Oh, great.
Yeah, such a romantic start.
That's, oof.
Yeah. From then on, they were in a relationship despite the 2-hour drive between their homes. Karla's family actually immediately loved Paul.
Oh.
Her sisters even said he was a brother they always wanted and never had. Paul would shower Karla with gifts and fancy dinners, even a trip to Disney World.
Whoa.
However, he was already supposedly being abusive. Paul and Karla quickly established a sub-dom relationship, with Karla literally calling Paul her king. And she was like hardcore doting, like whatever Paul wanted, she did.
Oh,
She
wow.
didn't second guess anything. He would ask her to take seductive Polaroids, but they quickly become pretty sadistic when he would tie a rope around her neck and hold a knife to her throat and her head.
Boy.
Yeah. But Karla's like, oh no, this is super cool.
Fine.
I love this for you.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I'm so in.
Yeah, she encouraged all of his like darker sexual desires. So like match made in heaven. Yeah. What could go wrong?
I mean, consent between two consenting adults.
Yeah, great.
But like you're getting close to her. Yeah. And she's not 18.
No.
She's 17.
Yeah.
He's 24, 23?
3.
Yeah. Well, he's a consenting adult.
Yeah.
By law, she's not.
I don't know.
Depending on the state.
I don't know what the
province, sorry.
I feel like it was probably 16, but regardless, like,
that's still
gross.
Yeah.
Gross because she is still a child.
Yeah, gross.
He went from taking Polaroids to videotaping literally everything in his life. Everything. Like,
what?
Yeah. There's videos of everything he is doing. He's like literally sitting on the couch. He's like, most people don't like to be photographed. And it's like, okay.
What the hell?
Thanks for the info.
Cool, man.
December 24th, 1989, the two became engaged at Niagara Falls.
Okay.
However, what Karla did not know yet was Paul already had several rape victims and attempted rapes. The media was already calling him the Scarborough rapist.
Oh, shit.
In 1987, he started his string of 24 rapes or attempted rapes in a 5-year period in Scarborough. Yearly, most of his attacks took place outside.
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like
in parks?
Actually, like in front yards and stuff.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's brazen.
That's wild.
Yeah. He would take their ID and threaten to go to their homes if they told anyone, and would often degrade them by smearing their face in dirt, demanding them to say they love him, ripping out pubic hairs to keep for little souvenirs, and endlessly beating them.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go through a few of the victims just to give you an idea of how disgusting he is. And just a side note, he was living with his parents for all these attacks, which like just gives extra ick to me.
Yeah.
So here is a trigger warning for the next 5 minutes or so. His first victim was May 4th, 1987, a 21-year-old girl who he had raped in front of her parents' house.
Oh my God.
He followed her off of a bus and attacked her in their front yard. Like, sir.
Why?
Only 10 days later, on May 14th, he raped a 19-year-old girl in her parents' backyard. July 17th, he had his supposed first failed attempt when he badly beat a girl, but she fought back and he left her alone, leaving her bruised and battered.
Jesus, good for fighting back, but
yeah, you go, girl.
Shouldn't be in that situation at all.
No.
Shouldn't have to go through that.
On September 29th, he escalated and broke into the home of a 15-year-old and jumped on her while she was sleeping in her bed.
Oh, what the fuck?
He threatened her with a knife and held his hand over her mouth and bit her ear.
Ugh.
Luckily, her mom heard the commotion and walked into the scene and started screaming and scared him away.
Oh, thank God.
The worst, well, maybe not worst, but terrible part of this is a 19-year-old was actually wrongly convicted for this crime.
Really?
Yeah, so terrible. He was later released and exonerated when Paul admit to this attack.
Oh, okay.
But like this poor 19-year-old, I mean, who knows what else he did for them to think that, but
yeah,
also like that sucks.
Like, was he like the town, like bum burnout kind of guy, or?
I honestly didn't look into him that much.
Wrongly accused.
Yeah, that's like a pretty intense crime.
Intense crime.
Yeah,
and
like
even if you get exonerated, like you're
yeah,
19,
there's still going to
your
be
friends,
rumor. Yeah,
like
especially
that ruins your life.
Yeah, for sure.
That's terrible.
On May 25th, 1988, only a year after his first victim, he was almost caught by a Metro Toronto investigator.
Okay.
So the officers were staking out at bus shelters because they noticed a trend that he was following victims from bus shelters, like back home.
Oh, okay.
And so the officers were staking out at bus shelters, and Paul was like laying under a bush.
Oh, shit.
Like, don't be suspicious. And as soon as the police started to approach him, Paul dipped out of there and got away.
Wow.
Yeah. On October 4th, 1988, he had another failed attempt, but he stabbed this woman in the thigh and butt, leaving her badly injured. She actually had to get 12 stitches to close up the wounds.
Oh, jeez.
Like, that's pretty brutal.
That's brutal.
On November 16th, he raped an 18-year-old girl in her parents' backyard.
Oh, my God.
Finally, on November 17th, 1988, a year and a half into his reign of terror, the police finally formed a task force. So a year and a half later, on May 26, 1990, a 19-year-old was raped but was able to give the police a very accurate and detailed description of her attacker. Betty Clark was the police sketch artist who used a computer composite program and published the composite in Toronto and area newspapers. Composites actually like creep me out.
Composites?
Yeah.
Like the drawings?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're spooky.
Like how? How can they make something look so much? Close. Yeah, like do you have your phone's over there? Yeah. I'll show you.
There's some there's some pretty bad ones, but there's some like insanely accurate ones.
Yeah, this one's pretty crazy. Please hold.
Okay, we can. This is the Paul one? Mm-hmm. You're showing me? We can put it on the Instagram post for this episode.
Good idea.
And we'll put it in the
here, you can scroll
show notes.
But yeah, like this is the infamous composite
holy
sketch.
Shit.
Like it looks just like him.
Yeah.
So creepy. So auxiliary officers went door to door showing the composite of the attacker. They were desperate for answers. Over 16,000 tips rolled in, 3 of which were actually identified this composite as Paul Bernardo.
Really?
Yeah. So they immediately had 3 tips that were like, this looks like Paul Bernardo. Have you looked into him?
Yeah.
And so the police did bring him in for questioning. And they're like, do you know why we brought you in? He's like, well, the sketch does look like me.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, dude, it does. And they questioned him for 35 minutes. And he ended up offering to give blood, saliva, and hair for forensic testing. Forensic testing at this time was like super new.
Oh, okay. We're in the baby stages.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is this guy just like super fucking?
No, but he was
bold,
overconfident to be like, yeah, here, take my DNA.
Yeah.
So yeah, like at this time, Canada only had one qualified technician to do all of the DNA testing, like all the forensics.
For all of Canada.
Yes.
Holy shit. Oh my
And
God.
they already had about 40,000 samples to get through.
Oh my God.
Yep. So they got his samples, but like it was going to take time to see if he was a match. So later in 1990, Paul lost his job as an accountant and decided to take on another area of criminality. He decided to make his living smuggling cigarettes across the Canada and US border.
Oh.
Yeah. He's a career guy.
Yeah.
Sure. He moved in with the Homolka family, and around this time, Paul also started to pressure Karla into allowing him to have sex with her 15-year-old sister, Tammy.
Oh, no. Yeah, I remember that part.
So this is what the case is. I mean, there are 3 women that die at the hands of Paul and Karla, but the case is well known for the fact that they killed Karla's sister.
The youngest sister, right?
Yeah. So the next little while is also a trigger warning for a lot of gross sexual stuff. So Paul was butthurt that Karla was not a virgin when they met. She had sex with a previous boyfriend that she had.
Okay.
And so he kept telling Karla that she could instead give him Tammy's virginity.
Ew, man.
Because, like, obviously it's Karla's to give.
Yeah, of course. Fucking asshole.
Yeah. Karla tried to appease Paul's obsession by suggesting watching Tammy undress through her window. So she would leave Tammy's window open and even broke her blinds purposely to give him better access to her. So he would stand outside the window and masturbate as he watched her undress. Soon, that was not enough for him. So he convinced Karla to dress and act as Tammy during sex, and they also would have sex in Tammy's bed.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. During this time, he also reportedly took Tammy out to get alcohol for a party, and he told Karla that they got drunk and made out.
Ew.
Yeah. After that, he spent many, many months supplying Tammy and her friends with alcohol and soda. And later, her friends were like, yeah, it was so weird. The cans usually had small white flecks on them.
Oh, no.
Like, he was grooming all of these girls and trying to victimize them and drug them.
No.
So gross.
Gross.
Yeah, not even a human.
Stain.
Eventually, this also was not enough for Paul. He wanted Tammy. He didn't want Karla dressed as Tammy. He wanted Tammy.
Ugh.
At the time, Karla was working at a vet clinic as a vet assistant, and Paul told her to steal some Valium. Okay. So one night in July 1990, Karla fixed up a plate of spaghetti for Tammy, laced with Valium, and Paul raped Tammy while Karla watched. Tammy woke up a little quicker than expected, but Paul was already done. So the couple just played it off that she had like fallen asleep and everything was normal and fine. Like just like, haha, you fell asleep on the couch eating your spaghetti. On December 24th, 1993. So this is like a few years later. Family was celebrating Christmas in Karla's family home. Paul was taking videos on his new video camera of the family celebrations.
Okay.
When everyone tucked into bed for the night, Paul and Karla convinced Tammy to stay up with them and to go into the basement to watch a movie together. And like, I'm just thinking, when you're the younger sibling and your older sibling is like, yeah, like come hang out with us. You're like, oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I am the elite.
Yeah.
Like you feel
They
so
think
special.
I'm cool.
Yeah, like you're not even going to second guess that.
No, I've been there.
Yeah, because I'm super cool.
Yeah.
You still get excited when I ask you to hang out with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the best idea ever.
That's true.
Like, yes. Let's do it. Please come over.
Please be my friend. Anyways, Karla fixed Tammy a rum and eggnog laced with halothane.
Halothane?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Which is a stronger sedative compared to Valium.
Yeah.
They were hoping this would keep her sedated for longer, but they also knew that it probably wouldn't be enough. So she also soaked a cloth in halicin just in case she came to before they were done assaulting her.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta have a plan B, I guess.
These guys are fucking monsters.
Yes. Karla grabbed the video camera and recorded Paul assaulting Tammy. Tammy would sometimes mumble and slur, showing signs that she was waking up. And Karla would just keep like putting that cloth like right on her face. And so that she would be sedated again.
Yeah.
Paul grabbed the camera and then recorded Karla raping her own sister.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They took turns recording and assaulting, and after a few times of redosing Tammy, she starts to vomit and begins to aspirate on her vomit.
Oh, God.
So they quickly got her dressed and brought her upstairs and called 911. Karla flushed the drugs and the other evidence, and at about 1:25 in the morning, first responders arrived and found Tammy to be very clearly deceased.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
They brought her to the St. Catharines General Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The police surveyed the scene and questioned Paul and Karla. It did look suspicious, especially like Tammy had like these big acid burns on her face from the drug cloth. And the police were like, what was this from? And Paul was like, oh yeah, that's from when I was like dragging her to get a better look at her to help her. And then
on what? The carpet?
Yeah,
trying to say it was
carpet burn. Yeah,
fuck right off.
Yeah, and then
oh my God,
Karla's like, oh yeah, it's probably just like the acid from her vomit. Like,
okay,
sir,
fucking scientist.
Yeah,
shut up.
So smart. And so the death was ruled an accident.
Oh my God.
The problem was like they did run tox screens.
Yeah.
But it's only going to check for illicit drugs.
Yeah.
It's not going to check. Yeah, exactly. So there was nothing really like it looked suspicious, but it was like, okay, well, she's a young girl. She drank too much and she choked on her vomit. Like,
yeah, they didn't really know what they were looking for.
Yeah, exactly. They had no reason to be suspicious. But the tape is super crazy because it goes for them like celebrating Christmas and like having a great time. And then literally like flips right to Tammy being assaulted.
Oh God.
I just cannot imagine being those investigators later on, finding the tapes, and that's what you watch. Like, oh gosh, that's terrifying.
That's awful.
Dorothy, Carl, and Lori took a couple of weeks away to process the death of Tammy and get out of their home where she had died.
Right.
But Paul and Karla did not join them.
Oh.
Instead, Paul picked up a 16-year-old hitchhiker and brought her back to the family home and raped her while Karla watched behind the curtains.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. When the family was away, Paul and Karla also videotaped them having sex in front of a fire in the basement where Tammy died. This video was later known as the fireside chat, and it becomes like super infamous. It especially paints Karla like super poorly.
Right.
On the video, Karla talks about how much she enjoyed watching Paul rape Tammy. She also loved watching him rape the other girl. And she's like, I want to do it every weekend. I want to lure in all the virgins you want. And she also says that she wants to have 4 children for him to rape.
Oh, what the fuck?
Like, remove this woman's fucking uterus, man.
Remove
Disgusting.
Her brain.
Remove.
Lobotomize.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Remove her from this orbit.
Yes,
like,
please.
Get her out of here.
Go to Mars.
Yeah. The video ends and a new video starts of Paul walking around the home and he's like taking shots of pictures of Tammy and he's like saying how much he loved her. And then Karla comes into frame and she's dressed as Tammy and role playing as her. Like using her voice and dressed in her clothes. And they showed this part of the tape on a documentary that I watched to research for this.
Yeah.
And it's like so gross. She literally looks and sounds just like Tammy.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's like if you did not know what you're watching, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's Tammy.
That's disgusting.
Ugh. During this time, Karla also wrote a letter to a friend complaining about how annoyed she was the family was still grieving Tammy.
What?
Yeah. She was super upset that they had spent half of her wedding money on Tammy's funeral. So selfish of them.
Wow.
Yes. In February 1991, about 5 weeks after Tammy's death, Paul and Karla moved into their own home in St. Catharines, Ontario. Her family was like, basically had to ask them to leave because they needed to grieve, and Paul and Karla were not grieving.
Yeah.
So
they're having a grand old time.
yeah, they were like, you need to get out of here. You are affecting our grieving process. Like, go get your own place.
You murdered our daughter.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
On June 7th, 1991, Karla invited a 15-year-old coworker out for Girls' Day, who she had befriended while working at the pet store. Karla invites her back to her place for some drinks and laces it with halothane. Once this girl is sedated, she calls Paul and tells him to come home quickly. She has an early wedding present for him. Yep, so another trigger warning. Just this whole episode is a freaking trigger warning, but here we go. He arrives to find this young girl. He grabs his video camera and records Karla undressing and raping her, then hands the camera to Karla to record him assaulting her.
Ugh.
The next morning, the girl wakes up sick, but it was her first time ever drinking alcohol.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm just hungover, like not aware or sus anything happened to her. And again, in August, she invites her back to their home and repeats the drugging and the rape. This time, the girl stops breathing from being overdosed.
Oh, God.
But so they do call an ambulance, and while the ambulance is on their way, they're able to revive her. So they call the ambulance back and cancel it. But no one ever followed up with them. Which to me just seems super weird. I feel like the ambulance
should just like show up.
Yeah, and just be like, oh, okay, like you're all right.
Hey, maybe you should still go to the hospital.
Yeah, just in case, just to be safe. Like you weren't breathing 5 minutes ago. Yeah. And like just keep in mind for later, Karla did this all on her own. She was the mastermind behind the Jane Doe assaults. She brought her home and subdued her when Paul was not even home. Like there was no pressure from Paul.
Yeah.
Here.
She's just being a monster on her
own volition.
Her own time. Yikes.
On June 15th, 1991, Paul was out looking for license plates to steal for his cigarette smuggling career when he spots 14-year-old Leslie Mahaffey outside her parents' home. Leslie's friends and classmates described her as very well liked. She had tons of friends. She was going through a bit of a rebellious patch, like as we all do at 14.
Yeah.
And she had arrived after curfew. She was actually attending some friends' funerals that had passed away from a car accident recently. She arrived after curfew, so her parents had locked the door to teach her a lesson.
Okay.
She walked to a payphone to ask another friend if she could stay the night there, but they refused. So she just ends up like going back to her house and sitting in the backyard on a picnic bench, just waiting for the sun to rise and for someone to wake up and let her in. Unfortunately, Paul spots her and offers her a cigarette. So she accepts, and they go back to his car where he blindfolds her with a sweater and throws her into the car. At this time, Paul is 26.
And she was
14.
Oof.
Yes.
Oof.
Another trigger warning coming.
Double her age.
Yeah. Another trigger warning coming. So Leslie is held hostage for 24 hours, where Paul and Karla record endless beatings, abuse, humiliation, and sexual assaults. Everything is recorded except for her death. It's unknown if she was killed with a lethal dose of Halcyon by Karla or if she was strangled with an electrical cord by Paul. Later on, when they are ultimately arrested, they just blame each other.
Yeah, blame game.
Yeah. Once she's dead, they put her in the basement because they have Karla's family coming over to celebrate Father's Day.
Oh my God.
So they put her dead body in the basement. And at one point, Karla's mom, Dorothy, tried to go downstairs to get something for dinner. And Paul was like, oh, no, like, I'll go get it for you.
Oh, yeah.
What a gentleman. For dinner, Paul goes downstairs and dismembers Leslie's body with a circular saw and encases her body parts in cement. And they end up dumping them kind of like all over Lake Gibson.
Jesus.
2 weeks later, on June 29th, 1991, they're married in an extravagant ceremony at Niagara-on-the-Lake, even complete with a horse-drawn carriage. Karla wore like a poofy princess style, like super 90s dress with like big poofy sleeves. She had a veil adorned with pearls.
Oh my
Wedding
god.
guests were like talking on the video camera, telling Karla that Paul's the best thing that ever happened to her, and like vice versa. And this is also when Paul chooses to tell Karla that he's the Scarborough rapist. And she's like, not bothered.
Just doesn't care.
Yeah. She's like, I love that for you.
Cool, man.
I don't care. Yeah.
Cute nickname.
She's like, I also love raping children. So, like, let's go.
Ugh.
During their wedding, Leslie's remains were actually discovered by a man taking his canoe out. So he just went out for like a nice canoe ride, and only 2 feet off the shore where he launched, he put his paddle in, and when he lifted it, there was blood on it. And
Oh
he's
no.
like, oh, weird. And he like kind of peeked into the water and he said he saw pink. And then he realized it was a human foot.
Oh god.
Yeah. And ironically, the guests at the wedding sat in the bar in shock as they watched the news coverage of her remains being found during the reception. So, like, they're getting married and Leslie's body is being found. And later, her body, or Leslie, was identified later through dental records.
Oh man.
Okay, this is like the halfway point. How long are we in for this one?
37.
Should I just finish it off? Yeah.
Let's do it.
April 19th, 1992, Paul decides he needs a new victim and he knows exactly where he wants to go find one. Him and Karla park in a church lot near Holy Cross Catholic High School where he likes to go watch the girls in their uniforms.
Ew. Gross. It's a bad
15-year-old
pastime.
Kristen French, a precision ice skater and member of the girls' rowing team, is walking through the church parking lot on her way home from school when Karla rolls down her window and asks Kristen if she can help her with directions. So Kristen approaches the car. Karla's holding out a map, and she's like doing the whole to-do. Meanwhile, Paul circles around and attacks her from behind. So he blindfolds her, throws her into the car, and threatens her with a knife. And there are people who see this happen. No one intervenes, but people do immediately report to the police. However, one of the downfalls to the reports is that they give a car description that is not accurate.
Oh, they just completely...
Yeah, they just butcher it. Yeah.
Oh no.
So one of the bystander reports that it was a gold Nissan. However, he actually had a beige Camaro.
How the fuck do you mess that up?
Same, but different, I guess.
Not even close.
Probably... I mean, I would get the color right, but I would probably not get the make right.
That's upsetting. I'm trying to think of a Nissan in that era that would look like a Camaro.
I feel like all cars look the same. I would be this bystander.
That's fair. Okay.
Kristen's family reports her missing immediately when she does not arrive home from school, and posters are plastered with a gold Nissan.
Oh boy.
Not the beige Camaro. And Kristen's face with a description of the attack. Her mom goes to the scene of the crime when she is informed, and she actually finds one of Kristen's shoes.
Oh no.
Her parents do press conferences begging for the safe return of her daughter, and Kristen is held for 3 days. Oh. Another trigger warning. She is compliant to Paul and Karla's demands as they take turns raping her. They chain her up for the recorded assaults, and at night they drug her with sleeping pills and tie her up in a closet. At one point, they show her the TV while her family is begging for her return. After 3 days of being compliant, with no end in sight, she starts to fight back and resist. Paul responded by showing her the video of Karla beating and humiliating Leslie and tells her that if she does not comply, they're going to do the same to her.
Oh my god.
So, but she's like, I need to fight back. So she continues to resist, and so he viciously and violently beats her. And after 3 days, Karla realizes, she's like, oh, I have to go back to work soon. But like, I don't want Kristen in my house because she could escape.
Yeah.
So Karla's like, okay, Paul, we need to kill Kristen. And he doesn't object.
Jesus.
But like, he wanted to keep her to to torture and assault and rape, and then just let her off whenever he wanted because she was blindfolded this whole time. So
Oh,
she didn't like, she saw them when they abducted her, but very briefly. She didn't know where she was.
right.
So apparently Paul's plan was to eventually release her.
Doubt it.
Yeah. So Paul's story is that he went out to go and get food, and when he returned, um, Karla told him that Kristen had asked for her to loosen the restraint on her neck. And when she did, she tried to run away and she ended up somehow strangling herself, and that Karla had to subdue her with a rubber mallet.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, Karla's story is that Paul strangled her with electrical cord.
she likes that story.
She does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the second time now.
Yeah. So either way, Kristen is dead. We don't know how, but they leave her for dead while they go to Karla's family home for Easter dinner.
Oh my god, these people on their fucking holiday.
They're- I know, like,
What fuck?
I think that they get off on like being like, "Whoa, we just like tortured and murdered someone, and now we're at family dinner."
What a
Like,
bunch
I think,
of freaks.
yeah, like I think it's a little bit of a kink for them, which is,
Ugh,
ooh.
gross.
When they return, they wash her body to rid of any evidence, and they shave off all of her hair, which I just like
Like
hate.
her head hair too?
Yeah, like I just feel like that's further degrading her.
Yeah.
She had like this beautiful long brunette hair. Like her and Leslie were both stunning, but I just feel like that's just further degrading her, and I just hate that.
Like torture beyond death.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. They burn all the evidence of her being in the home and car, and they dump her naked body. Over 2,200 volunteers join the search for Kristen, and she's discovered only a few feet from the edge of a roadway in tall grass, face
boy.
down in the fetal position.
Oh.
Once she is discovered, she is quickly identified because she actually had a missing fingertip from a previous rowing accident.
Oh.
So it was quick to identify her. And once she is found, the police connect Kristen and Leslie's murders due to the similar injuries, and the media calls the killer or killers the schoolgirl murderer. The Niagara Regional Police and the Halton Police established a task force called the Green Ribbon Project. On June 21st, a reenactment of the Kristen abduction is broadcasted on TV in hopes that someone will remember additional details to help the police. And you can actually still find it.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Like, but yeah, and I guess it does actually help get a few additional tips, but nothing helpful. After the murder, Karla goes with Paul on his stalking adventures where she performs oral sex on him while he watches his victims, and they also engage in acts with sex workers.
Oh.
However, things take a turn. On January 6th, 1993, Karla's hospitalized after Paul brutally attacks her with a flashlight. Like one of those like heavy duty like police
a
flashlights. Maglite, yeah,
those
that's the word.
big fuckers.
Yeah. So he's arrested and charged with assault with a weapon, but he's released on bail. But apparently, this assault is where Karla draws the line, and she moves in with her aunt and uncle in Toronto. She doesn't go home.
Okay.
And around this time, Niagara police brought Karla in for questioning about the assaults because they were already suspicious of Paul as the Scarborough rapist.
Right.
Based on a tip from a childhood friend. They had actually called in a tip for the murders to let them know that Paul was already a suspect of the Scarborough rapist attacks,
Right.
and described him as hostile and aggressive, and mentioned that he knew he abused girlfriends. He said he was also known for raping girls when they were drunk and openly talked about stalking, and they had witnessed him abuse previous girlfriends. The detectives that questioned Karla were actually also the lead investigators for the murder task force. And so they had been all over the news. So
Yeah.
Karla sees them and she gets super nervous. She's like, oh shit, like they know everything.
Right.
And she just completely shuts down.
Okay.
But she returns to her aunt and uncle's home where she tells them everything. She's like, Paul is the Scarborough rapist. He's also the school girl killer.
Her aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, she says she was involved, but only because she was scared for her life since Paul had been abusing her for years.
Okay.
So she goes like right to the poor me.
I'm just a victim.
Yeah, I'm just a victim.
Yeah, fuck right off.
Yeah. So they hire a lawyer for Karla. She tells them all the same information. And the lawyer goes to the police and says Karla's willing to testify against Paul, and also mentions the tapes that Karla informed him about, because he's like, look, Karla says that all of this is on tape.
Yeah.
And so they mention the tapes, and he's like, we can help you find the tapes and testify if you give Karla full immunity.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So during the police interviews, Karla describes the abductions and murders of Kristen and Leslie, as well as the killing of her sister Tammy. However, she knows they don't have the tapes yet, so she leaves out like her 15-year-old coworker Jane Doe that she abducted on her own.
Yeah.
And all of the involvement of the abuse and assault to all of them.
Oh,
Because she's like, they don't have the tapes, like they don't know my involvement. I'm just going to keep playing like the battered wife.
Oh, shit.
Luckily, the Attorney General in Ontario denies the full immunity, but he does give her like the deal of a lifetime that would later be known as the deal with the devil.
Right. I think I remember that part of
Yeah.
the case.
So he offers her to plead guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter for a 10-year sentence for Kristen and Leslie.
10 years?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
fuck.
2 years for Tammy.
So 12 years.
12 years total instead of 20 years. And only for manslaughter, not murder.
Right, because it would have been 20 years each.
25 each is for first.
Right.
And so
Oh my god.
also with the possibility of parole after 4 years.
Are these consecutive or concurrent?
It's always concurrent.
Oh my god.
Or maybe, you know what, I don't even know.
Because she could.
But either way, like they were saying
12 years,
12
she could
years.
get parole after 4.
12 years max, parole after 4.
Oh my god.
So, but they didn't know the extent of her involvement
they
at
didn't
this
have
point.
these tapes yet.
And they, like, she was very manipulative. She was very intelligent. Remember, she was like
she's
top
smart.
2%. Like, she was a genius.
Yeah.
And she was very careful to portray herself as a terrified, battered wife instead of the monster and equal participant that she actually was.
Right.
And immediately there was a publication ban on the plea deal because, like, they knew that if the facts of the plea deal got out, there'd be mass outrage.
100%.
Yeah. So they were like, yeah, this is private.
Yeah, we got fucked.
So at the same time, finally, after nearly 3 years, the samples that Paul had willingly provided in 1990 have been tested and determined that Paul is indeed a match for evidence collected from the rape kits performed on the rape victims in Scarborough.
Thank God he's a dumbass.
After like 3 years,
3 years.
Like, that is crazy.
Fuck.
So the police start to stake out Paul. They place him under surveillance and start tapping his phone. Between the statement from Karla and the forensics matching Paul, they do obtain a warrant for his arrest as well as a search warrant for his home. And on February 17th, Paul is arrested and a 71-day search of his home begins.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the search is intense. They rip out drywall, carpeting, they rip apart furniture. However, Paul had hid most of the tapes when police had previously come to the home to question him. He got spooked.
Okay.
But they do end up finding a journal detailing all of the abductions and the rapes, deviant sexual books, a hunting knife, handcuffs, and 2 videos showing what is presumably the 15-year-old co-worker of Karla.
Oh.
So the police brought Karla to the home to assist them in finding evidence. And, like, so gross. She arrives dressed in a schoolgirl uniform.
Ew.
So gross.
Why'd they let her pick what she was allowed to wear?
But because I guess.
Because she was just out.
I guess she was out because they're awaiting
trial?
Awaiting the sentencing, probably.
Oh,
because there was no trial for her because she just pled. Yeah, but they were probably waiting for sentencing. Yeah, so she arrives as a schoolgirl.
Oh, that's gross.
And she's like super icky the whole time. She's more concerned about her damaged furniture. And she's like, oh, can I take this book? My sister wants it. And they're like, nah, dog.
No.
Like, you can't take
Fuck
that as
off.
evidence. Yeah.
That's so gross.
Yeah, so like they pretty much she shows like disregard for the the women, the girls
Yeah.
that they killed, and they're like she's more concerned about the furniture and stuff in the house. So
Oh, gross.
on May 6th, 1993, Paul's lawyer is led to the 6 remaining tapes hidden in a light fixture. While it's unclear if he was on the phone with Paul or if Paul like wrote him a letter.
Okay.
But he's instructed to go to the bathroom, stand on the counter, and move the light fixture. So he finds the 6 tapes. Instead of turning these into the prosecution, he does not watch the tapes and he just keeps them in his office. Cause like he doesn't know what's on
Yeah,
them.
sure, buddy.
Yeah. But he instructs his law clerk to watch them.
Oh, that poor clerk.
Yeah. And just before the trial begins, he ends up resigning from the case and turns the tapes over to the new lawyer assigned to the case,
Yeah.
who watches them and he's like, "Sir, these should be like these are
Evidence.
physical evidence.
Yeah,
These
they
need to be
need
with
to
the
be filed.
prosecutors." Yeah, so he turns the tapes over to the prosecutors. And Paul's initial lawyer is actually later charged with obstruction of justice
As
and
he should.
possession of child pornography. Yeah, due to failing to turn in the tapes, however, the charges are later acquitted. At least he was
Yuck.
scared straight. Paul's new lawyer, John Rosen, also known as Mr. Murder, had already
Oh.
defended over 300 murder cases, more than any other lawyer in Canada. So, like, he was the man for the job.
Yeah.
He reviews the tapes and realizes Karla's involvement, and also that there's actually no murders on the tape themselves. So basically, like they had one trial for the murders of Kristen and Leslie, and then they were doing a separate trial for the murder of Tammy and then the Scarborough rapist charges.
Okay.
So this trial's only for the murders,
Right.
but there's no murders on the tapes.
Boy.
Just like the torture and rape and everything else awful that happened to these girls. So he develops the defense of, well, who actually murdered them? The only person that is seen dying or dead on the tapes is Tammy. And Karla was the one that held the halothane to her face.
Right.
And put the halothane in her food and held the halocin to her face. So she was the one that drugged and murdered her. And so his argument was she's clearly capable of murder. She's done it before.
Oh, boy.
So the case became Paul versus Karla, and who was the jury going to believe more? Before the trial began, Kristen and Leslie's families wanted to ensure that the public would not have access to seeing the tapes. They did not want them shown in court. They did not want the media to have access to them. They felt, and rightly felt, that every time the tapes were viewed, their daughters were being re-victimized.
Yeah.
The media argued that it was the public's right to know what happened, and what the details were so that they knew if justice was being served.
No.
I agreed.
That's up to the victims and the victim's family, not the media.
And the jury.
Yeah.
Like, I do agree the jury had to see the tapes to see, like, the level of depravity that was. But
that could have been in, like, the deliberation room, right?
Yeah.
Like, that didn't need to be out and about in the middle of the court.
So they do actually end up, the judge orders that the tapes are going to be shown in court.
Okay.
But only to the jurors. So they, like, turns the TV, but the rest of the courtroom could hear the tapes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
I cannot imagine. Paul's trial would not start for another 2 years. On May 18th, 1995. The trial lasts 4 months, with Karla testifying for 17 of the days. Karla's mom, Dorothy, was brought in as a witness to testify against Paul. When she was on the stand, she claimed that she never saw or suspected any signs of abuse to Karla. She had her own bank account, went out with friends, had relationships with family, and even went on vacations with friends alone. She described Karla and Paul as deeply in love, and Karla always had a glow when she was with him. And all of this did not describe a battered woman.
Right.
And so after Dorothy's testimony, everyone was like, this is an insult to battered woman, because, like, that's what Karla was claiming.
Yeah.
The night before Karla was set to take the stand, people literally camped out on the sidewalks outside the building because
Yeah,
they
the
wanted,
courthouse.
yeah, outside the court because they wanted to see Karla in court. They wanted to see her take on Paul.
Okay.
So Karla was on the stand for about 2 weeks. She portrayed herself as like an unwilling participant that was just afraid of her husband who was abusing her daily. And Paul's lawyer started his questioning by showing Karla a photo of Tammy, Leslie, and Kristen, all alive and dead. It's one of my clients' Snuggles. They come to the lake.
Cute.
Sorry.
People watching out the windows.
Shout out Knuckles. However, in the videos, she did not appear that way. She is described as being psyched and happy to be involved. When Ken's law clerk watched the videos, she said she was shocked to see the level of participation and described it as horrible, unimaginable, and horrendous.
Oh.
She also noted that there were multiple times that Karla was actually orchestrating the abuse, not Paul. She had not a hint of reluctance or passiveness. And at what point, Karla becomes kind of like dismissive towards Paul's lawyer. Like she's getting annoyed that he's like questioning her on the stand, doing his job. And so she kind of like shuts down, gets annoyed. And then all of a sudden, it's like a fire is lit under her ass and she has like her fight back. And this just showed the jury like, this is not a battered down, shut down woman. Like she's still got fight in her. She's a fucking psycho. And it just like showed the jury that she was the mastermind and the manipulator, but she wasn't the one on trial.
No.
Paul was. Yeah. So during the trial, all 6 tapes are played showing Kristen, Leslie, and Jane Doe. And the jurors described them as life-changing, the most horrific experience they have ever had. Several of them actually had marriages fall apart, severe depression, and even suicide attempts after the trial because they were so traumatized by the tapes. Which, like, fair, I cannot imagine
seeing that shit.
Mrs. Mahaffey, so Leslie's mom,
yeah,
she insisted on being in court when the tapes were played, and she required help leaving the courtroom. Like her knees buckled, she became physically ill as she heard her daughter wailing in pain and just pleading for mercy. Like, you,
that poor lady,
are a changed person forever after that.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
people,
think any parent needs that.
Yeah, like people literally said they left the court and were like in a daze and like disoriented because they were just so traumatized. Like people were sitting all over the grass and boulevards because they were like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So after the tapes were played, it was clear to everyone Karla was also a monster. The fireside chat video also really pissed everyone off in the courtroom, especially the jurors.
Mm-hmm.
The jurors were like, she should be sitting next to Paul for these charges. But unfortunately, the justice system did not have any evidence, like video evidence of this magnitude before. And the police and the Crown did not receive them until Karla's plea deal was already done.
Fuck.
And so, like, before receiving the tapes, the only thing they had against Paul for the murders was Karla's testimony.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have that, they would have to drop the murder charges.
Right.
So they needed to justify this plea deal to the public. And so they were like, yeah, she has amnesia from being abused. Yeah. Like,
what? No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She just forgot.
She just forgot?
She just forgot.
Oh, what the fuck?
She forgot that she was also involved. Yeah. So
that's gross.
Yeah. Paul also takes the stand during his trial where he admits, yes, he is a rapist, a sexual sadist, and a stalker, but he is not a murderer. He claims that it was Karla's idea to kill both Kristen and Leslie and that he kept them blindfolded with the intention of letting them go when he was done abusing them.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
Karla did admit in her police interviews that it was her idea to kill both of them, but that Paul was the one that actually murdered them.
Okay.
So ultimately, he's found guilty of 2 first-degree murder, 2 kidnapping and forcible confinement, 1 count of committing indignity to a human body for Leslie's dismemberment, among some other charges, and in a separate trial for his Scarborough rape victims, as well as Tammy's murder. He's also found guilty of all of those charges.
Good.
He is sentenced to life in prison, which in Canada is 25 years.
Oh, 25.
I roll.
As if.
Without the possibility of parole. He is also designated as a dangerous offender.
Right.
In 2000, he is denied efforts to appeal the murder convictions, and in 2005, he confesses to 10 more sexual assaults. However, he never confesses to any of the murders, insisting it was Karla that killed the girls by overdosing them with sedatives. And honestly, I think it was Karla that killed them.
Could have been.
Because I feel like she was jealous that Paul was like infatuated with these new girls and was jealous of the attention, and she murdered them. She admit it was her idea.
Yeah.
And Kristen was dead when Paul returned.
Right.
And she's the one that killed Tammy.
Do you think she did that on purpose?
I don't know. I don't know if she killed Tammy on purpose, but like also I feel like she would have had enough knowledge working in the vet clinic to know how dangerous those medications were.
I agree. I think her jealousy plays into the fact that I think she did it on purpose.
Yeah, I think that she killed. I think she killed all three of them. I don't think that Paul did.
No, but he's a bystander and very not just a bystander. He's a very
he is disgusting. He deserves to rot in jail. Throw away the key. Yeah, but like I don't think that he killed them. I think that Karla got the deal of a lifetime and literally got away with murder.
Yeah, that's fucked.
And like she's arguably the only serial killer in Canadian history to get out of prison.
She's out, right?
Yeah.
She's still alive?
We're almost there.
Is Paul still alive?
Yes, they're both still.
Oh, fuck.
They're both still littering the earth with their bodies.
Man.
So at the end of the trial, both Kristen and Leslie's families give statements, and I'll just quote the end of them because I found them very powerful.
Okay.
Leslie's dad said, "The trial is done, but she is never coming home." And Kristen's dad said, "No one can ever hurt you again," basically referencing the tapes and like everything that came out in trial. Their families went straight to work on ensuring that the tapes would be destroyed, so no one could ever re-victimize them.
Good.
And eventually the tapes were incinerated in a ceremony with family and friends present. And yeah, like I feel like those quotes just really hit home because yeah, great, they're getting punished. Like justice has been served, but nothing is going to bring those girls home. Nothing is going to take away what happened to them. And like honestly, just burn them and throw away the key. Like I can't understand.
No.
And like these families are paying to feed these fucking animals in prison. Yeah. At some point there was an inquiry into the 15-year-old coworker Jane Doe.
Yeah.
And it was reported that she was consulted by police and did not feel strongly about pursuing charges. However, she anonymously spoke out after that she was never consulted by police and she felt that there was no justice served for her. Which, fair. She also mentioned that Karla received a psychology degree in prison on the taxpayer's dime and had a higher education than her because she could not afford such a high level of education.
Wow.
She was totally forgotten in all of this horrific tragedy, and not a single charge was laid on her behalf to Karla or Paul.
That's terrible.
Despite having the tapes.
Yeah.
The community of St. Catharines was sick of seeing the House of Horror and ended up having volunteers come forward to demolish it.
Okay.
Kristen and Leslie's families were present, and they said they were glad to see it torn down. It served as a constant reminder of the horrors that their daughters endured. Karla served her time in a rehab-style prison where she ended up having an affair with another inmate.
Gross.
Jean-Paul Gibert, who was in prison for strangling his girlfriend in a jealous fit of rage.
This was a co-ed prison?
It sounds like maybe. Like, they exchanged sexual notes, nude photos, and one time Karla, like, snuck her underwear through the fence to him.
Oh, they're, like, separated inside and outside, but they can, like, talk to each other?
Yeah, through a fence, maybe. I don't know.
No thanks.
Karla was denied parole due to being too likely to reoffend.
Good.
But on July 4th, 2005, she was released after serving her full 12-year sentence, and she actually remarried her defense lawyer's brother.
What?
Yeah, it's so random.
What the fuck?
But also, like, you know what this woman did.
What a fucking psycho.
Yeah, so, yeah, and since she was never charged with any sex crimes, she was not designated as a sexual offender. So she's not a registered sex offender. Like,
oh, what the? Oh my
yeah,
god.
we only have videos of her raping children, but yeah. She now has 3 children. Ironic, since she took the life of 3 children.
Oh no.
And lives either in Quebec or the Caribbean. That's conflicting information. For a time, she did continue to visit her dear Paul in prison, where she would discuss running away together and starting a new life with new identities. She did create a new identity, but with Paul still behind bars. And at one point, it was discovered that she was volunteering at her kids' school. Yeah, the parents lost their marbles, and she was told she could not volunteer at the school anymore. Fair.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you should not be around children.
You should not be around.
You should not even have your own children.
No.
And
that should have been part of her.
Yeah,
her
remove the uterus.
Correct me.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
She should have been spayed for sure.
That's wow.
Finally, in 2023, Paul was moved from a maximum security prison to a medium security prison. And just recently, on November 26, 2024, he was denied parole for the 3rd time.
Okay, good.
He is unfortunately still alive and rotting in prison at 55 years old. Kristen and Leslie's families continue to fight to have him kept behind bars. And that is the story of the Ken and Barbie Killers, aka the Scarborough Rapist, aka the Schoolgirl Killers.
Damn.
I cannot wait to never think about them again.
Yeah. I remember hearing about this case for the first time and being like shocked.
Yeah, there's so many shocking things in it.
Like,
I think like to do that to your own sister.
Oh my god.
It's just like so gross. But even as a woman, to do that to other women, and
yeah, like she's a fucking monster.
Yeah, and she literally, it was the deal with the devil. Like, she got away with murder.
Yeah.
And with a lot more. Like, she was only charged for manslaughter. She wasn't charged for kidnapping. She wasn't charged for any of the sex crimes, any of like the torture.
Right.
Nothing.
And she wasn't listed as a sexual offender.
Yeah. And she's able to change her identity.
Like, no, that shouldn't be allowed. I think prison justice failed.
Yeah.
Like, her and Paul shouldn't have made it out.
Yeah. Like it doesn't, I couldn't find anything that said she had a hard time in prison at all.
Like, there's got to be moms in jail.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah, there needs to be like
shanking her on the daily. A mom
gang. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like how did she make it out alive?
How the fuck? Like, because you think about what we know about prison and like the food chains. It's like sexual offenders are on the bottom.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
They're the ones who get the hardest rap. How the fuck are these? How did she make it out? She should have been shanked and beat on the daily.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She's alive.
Well, she's manipulative. She's probably running the gangs in there.
Yeah, that's she
got a psychology degree.
That's insane. Like, what a waste of a smart mind.
Yeah, for real.
I wonder. Do you know if there's any like traumatic injuries to her brain at any point in her life? Like,
it didn't say anything about that, and
like,
neither with Paul. Neither with Paul. Yeah, like there's no. I couldn't find any evidence of any traumatic brain injuries. They were both just. I mean, they both grew up in abusive households.
Like, that's nature versus nurture.
Yeah,
right?
but like Paul witnessed a lot of sexual abuse, and
like his aunt.
It was his sister.
His sister?
Yeah.
I thought it was his dad's sister.
Yeah, how I worded it could have been confusing. No, it was his older sister.
Oh my god.
That his dad was assaulting his own daughter.
Well, that makes it so much worse.
Yeah. And so, like, he grew up thinking, like, this is normal.
This is okay. This is normal. This is a normal sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But like she had no excuse. Like, yeah, she fought with her dad, but her and her sisters were close. Her and her mom were close. Like she has no excuse.
No excuse. Oh, my dad's drunk. Get over it.
Yeah.
You
There's
can't just
people
kill
that
people
survive
over that.
much worse
Yeah.
and do not end up torturing, kidnapping, and killing.
Fuck me.
Yeah. Well, that's that, I guess.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Between the Wendigo.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some wild dreams, that's for sure, if I do sleep.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening to our second episode.
Hopefully a little more seamless than the first.
Yeah.
We will get good at this eventually. We will.
We're gonna have growing pains.
But yeah, please share us with your friends, rate and review, and check out our social media for our giveaway that we will be launching tonight, as in August 19th.
19th, yeah.
Because we are in the future.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out. We'll figure out a posting schedule.
Yep.
At some point, if
stay tuned for that
once a week or
we're just living
whatever
life.
It is. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Sign off.
Yeah. Stay spooky, True Northers.
Terror is closer than you think.
See, it's getting there. we're getting there. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.